Well, after a 2-0 win over NYCFC, the Red Bulls are on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on Orlando FC. Joining us now is the host of MLS Season Pass and MLS Countdown and Wrap-Up on Apple TV, Kevin Egan. Kevin, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, cheers, fellas. Great to be with you, chatting a bit of Major League Soccer.
Yeah, it's nice to have the Red Bulls in the mix this time of year. They took the first ever Hudson River Derby last week, and look, they're on a roll. They upset the reigning champs in round one. They're doing this as a 7 seed, so what spurred their run lately?
It's been a bit of a magical run now, it must be said. In Sandro Schwartz's first year in charge, he's been an absolute revelation since coming across to the Red Bulls. And also, it must be said, Emil Forsberg. The Red Bulls have been crying out for an absolute superstar in the number 10 position. That's the creative midfield position. And they have one now in Emil Forsberg. The Swedish superstar has been sensational. And just look at this goal here from distance. Carbajo, Uruguayan international, hits it with so much power and pace. And that ended up, playing a crucial role in the victory over New York City. But as mentioned, New York Red Bulls beat the champions, Columbus Crew. They swept them in 2 games to get to that point. So there's no chance this team is going to be scared of going to Orlando to take on the Lions.
Yeah, the Red Bulls have never lifted the MLS Cup. What would it mean if they can win a championship?
This team has had so many legends over the years. You think of a guy like Thierry Henry, Juan Pablo Angel, Rafa Marquez, Clint Mathis, and they've never done it. It really is that hard to believe that this is an MLS original team that have been around since 1996, and they've never done it. They've only been to the dance once, to MLS Cup. So they're going to have to do it on the road. If they're going to make it happen this year, it's going to be 2 road games because, as mentioned, they are the lowest seed left in the tournament. So you go to Orlando, and then the final is going to be in Los Angeles or Seattle. So a tough road ahead, but this team is gritty, man. This team, the New Yorkers should be proud of the New York Red Bulls right now. New Yorkers and folks from New Jersey, because they're blue collar, they're hard working, they're really organized, defensively solid, and then going forward, they've got really quick, exciting attackers. So they understand themselves right now. They're comfortable within their own skin, and I wouldn't be shocked to see them pull off the upset here.
Yeah, you're allowed to say blue now that FC is out, because otherwise I don't think we're allowed to mention that color in a Red Bull segment here. But you mentioned obviously what Forsberg has done, but he's not the only one who's really helped this team out and come back. They just had Lewis Morgan return, obviously, against FC. What has he meant for this club, and what do you think he can mean moving forward?
Yeah, horrific injury that stretched into this season for Lewis Morgan. He's now a Scottish international. That'll tell you just how well he's been playing. And he's a guy who, he's played in so many different positions in Major League Soccer, and he's the coach's dream. Like you both know that sort of player, whether it's in baseball or football or here in our game of soccer, that will play in any position, will learn how to do it, will perform really well. He was a fullback and a wingback when he played with Inter Miami, and now he's leading the line for the New York Red Bulls with Dante Van Zer, a Belgian, alongside him. And they kind of go wide, both of them, and they allow runners from midfield, the likes of Forsberg. And they just understand who they are. And that's one of the real reasons that New York Red Bulls fans should have great hope coming into this game.
For the New York sports fan who hasn't been following the Red Bulls all season, what would you say to bet them to watch to get them to watch the conference final on Saturday afternoon?
I'd say that momentum heading into the postseason is everything in every single sport. And the New York Red Bulls only had 4 away victories all season long. And here we are now. They're after going to Citi Field, and they beat New York City. They beat Columbus Crew on the road, and it was no fluke in the way they did it. A convincing victory for the Red Bulls. And now this team, just like I say, they're so defensively solid. And you know what else I love about this team? If you're a casual fan and you want to tune in to us on Apple TV for this game, there's proud New York, New Jersey players part of this squad that understand the fabric of the football club, that were driving by as kids, the likes of Daniel Edelman and John Tolkien, driving by Red Bull Arena as kids, saying that they dreamed of one day playing at that club and one day taking the New York Red Bulls all the way to MLS Cup and its first ever championship. And now this team is 180 minutes possibly away from that dream with these young New York, New Jersey players. So it's a pretty cool story.
And Kevin, for our American football fans, I'll put it into terms for them. The run that the Red Bulls are going on right now is like when the Giants were a wild card and had to go win on the road time and time again before they won the Super Bowl. We'll see if the Red Bulls can lift the MLS Cup. Kevin Egan from Apple TV, thank you so much for the time. Tune in and check out the game this week. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to one and all.